hey, let's have some awkward sips of coffee, talk about comic books, try to make them sound intelligent, and then watch Tom King unravel the entire thing. That's pretty much what happened this week. Roll that intro. Hey, what's going on, you wonderful weirdos? I'm Pocan Joe, and as always, you're pretty cool for hanging out, you wonderful weirdos. Got some comic books for a new comic book day. First, let me apologize for getting this video out late. I have just been so busy. So busy. It's been ridiculous. But I finally got some time to slow down and talk to you, my most favorite people. So thank you for coming by. This is your first time on the channel. Basically what I do is I talk about comic books. I get new comic book day hauls. I talk about them. Give my opinions on them, and if there's anything that can be interjected into them in any way, I try to do that as well. But if you caught this one for the first time, congratulations, we have a bonus feature. So apparently I won some comic books on an auction one night while I was drinking libations, and I ended up with some really cool stuff. Thank God, because too many times it's happened the other way. And we're going to hit those up right after I get done with my review this week. So definitely hang out for that. So what did we get this week? Let's start with our indies. I got Resistance. So have you ever wondered, like, we got the origin story of X-Men, the mutant liberation and that whole thing, and it was really cool. So honestly, what would that look like today? Boom, it would look like Resistance. This is exactly what happens. Half the population had the Great Death because there was a pandemic. Great, I don't know if that was on purpose or if that was accidental, just timing thing. I don't know, but I really love this. But the few people that didn't die, they ended up with powers. Like, you have mutants in here, right? Some people are strong, some people can shapeshift, some people, whatever the case may be, depends on their DNA makeup. So we actually see the inner workings of the concerns of, like, the government, particular organizations. We start seeing the first team formation in here as well. And it's written super smart, and I really enjoy this. So if you're not reading Resistance, definitely check out issues 1 and 2. It's interesting. Next, a Man Among Ye. So I walked into this knowing what it would be. The cover, the summary made it very clear this is going to be a woman empowerment story, and that's great. Women should be empowered. However, they don't have to be predictable, and they were very predictable in this. Immediately, we see a female pirate, Calico Jack, who, by the way, Calico Jack was an actual pirate. I thought that was kind of cool. Maybe there's a tidbit of information for you. And he was very kind of, I don't know, bravado. He had that kind of bravado about him, or at least in the history books they say so. I never met the guy. It's like 1700s. So, yeah, I'm not that old. But back to this, he has a female pirate that he kind of hangs out with. Is there something romantic going on there? It's constantly hinted to in the book, but nothing ever confirmed. They're swashbuckling. This is a violent book, right? Where you lack in story, the artist has to make up in picture, and that's obviously the case of this. It is graphic, like swords through necks, shot through eyes. It's that over graphic type of thing. Okay, I get it, and I can almost understand it because after reading the story, I'm like, oh look, they did a twist on Pirates of the Caribbean. So moving on. Um, Oh yeah, picked this up this week. Actually, I stopped cover buying, and for comic book collectors, you know what I'm talking about. You pick up a comic book, you get the trade dress version, and then you got like the 1 in 25 to 1 in whatever they're doing today, like 1,000, right? I stopped just randomly cover buying at that point because it's just, yeah, I do sell some comic books, but most of my comic books don't sell at where I'm going to make that money back. So I stopped doing it. And then this death metal came out. So, of course, I had to get the 1990s shiny. Look at that. You're getting blinded. It's crazy. Do you remember walking into a comic book store in the 90s and literally couldn't see anything because the light would just everything was chromed out. It was ridiculous. So I went ahead and got this. And then, yeah, I had to. When I saw Batman playing guitar, death metal, the whole 9 yards, I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get it. Luckily, my comic book store, which is Zeno's Comics, or I'm sorry, Zeno's Books in Chesapeake, Virginia, he kind of hooked me up a little bit because he was like, you don't cover by it. I'm like, yeah, I got to cover by it. It's Batman rocking out. Kind of reminds me of that cartoon song, Batman, murder, murder. Yeah, that thing. So, yeah. I can't even keep my word to you guys. I'm a horrible person. All right, moving on. Hey, did you all know that Clark Kent revealed himself as Superman, or Superman revealed himself as Clark Kent? Yeah, they've been talking that up for the last 15 issues. Too bad there's no other story in this. Superman and Mongol are battling out on a planet. Apparently, the UN sent an FBI agent. Why send an FBI agent? Because the writer doesn't know what he's talking about. The FBI doesn't work for the UN. God, just a simple Google search would have fixed that for you. Regardless, and since Superman said that he'll represent Earth in the overall galaxy, apparently some people got a problem with it, but they're going to allow it. This is just a good example of people being in charge that shouldn't be in charge because they're worried about their leadership and status constantly being taken. Sounds like the world. Probably the most realistic thing in this book. So anyway, Superman and Mongol are going at it. He beats him up on Venus. Why Venus? Because it has super heavy gravity. Why is that important to a bunch of superpowered beings? I have no idea. But it happened. So all in all, it wasn't like bad. There was some silliness. There was some awkwardness in it. Sometimes the story just did not flow very well. But again, we're dealing with the Superman can't totally let go. Right? He can't just totally let go. What's going to happen in the story? I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen in the story from here on out. Definitely comment below if I'm right or wrong. So Superman had to kind of do something on Mongol's planet to kind of show that he was, because they're a very aggressive, conquering type of people. So he had to end this with Mongol. So he goes over there and he's kind of a douchebag to everybody. And he's not allowed to make any more mistakes because he represents Earth now. So somebody's going to start a Twitter war. Maybe not a Twitter war, but it's going to come back and bite him in the butt. So I think I can drop Superman. It saddens me to say that. All right, next. My blast for the week. Oh my God, it's just so bad. Strange Adventures. I'm like, right? They're going to give us a story about Adam Strange, right? Nope, not in this one. We got to be totally and absolutely enthralled with Mr. Terrific. You're probably thinking, who's Mr. Terrific? He's the super genius, super good at everything, slight bragger that has those steel balls that kind of float around him and say words and do things for him. In the Arrowverse, it was the African American gentleman who like throw the balls and they would like shoot scan things. You get what I'm saying. He has it painted on T on his face. Literally everything this guy is doing. Now, I'm going to bring up an interesting point at the end of this. I definitely want to hear your comments below. So, after this, he's getting asked these random trivia questions while he's doing things, right? And to that, the writer's trying to relay to us just how smart he is and just how awesome he is the entire time. All right, fine, but the entire book is it. So he's shooting a gun, getting sharp shot questions, blah, 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 blah. And then he ruined the entire thing. And I don't think the writer quite understand what he did. At some point, he looks at the balls and he goes, ask me a question I do not know the answer to, which tells me that he's just being asked questions that he randomly uploaded in there that I already knew the answer to. Because he's an egomaniac. Probably not the case, but he literally uses those words in here. And I was like, oh, well, you're not that smart then. You just programmed the robots to ask you questions you knew the answer to. It's ridiculous. I'm not going to tell you what the question was that he was asking the robot. You're going to have to read that for yourself. But yeah, we got another Batman midlife crisis story going on here, and it's just going to be sad at the end of the day. All right, so since Marvel came out with nothing, I was a little light on indies, but that's okay. Hey, I checked out over at Blitz. He's a veteran. He has a comic book kind of auction thing that he does. He also talks about hauls and comic books and stuff like that on there. He brings veterans on. It's a really cool show. It's called Blitz. Well, he had an auction. I think it was a couple of nights ago. I don't forget. The shipping happened so fast. Anyway, so apparently I won a few things. I may have been having some awkward sips of something other than coffee. Nectar of the gods. But regardless, I ordered it, I paid for it, and I couldn't be more happy. This is one of those times where I just got stupid lucky, to be quite honest. There was a gentleman by the name of, I don't want to mess this up. I want to say Adrian APM. APM. He had some really great comic books up there that I was just buying up. And I'm very super happy to get them. And if you've done comic book auctions online before, right, you should know the rules, right? And I may have broken them, so I apologize for that. But first off, he sent everything really super sealed, tight, compressed, so it wouldn't move around. And he even took the time to do something funny on it. I like that. It's a little bit of a personal touch, but I feel like Poke Show, that is awesome. So first off, thank you for packing them very well. Next, let me show you what I got. So he threw in a Batman 82 with the regular trade vet dress of this Punchline character, who I've been enjoying. So that's really cool. And then apparently I got the Moon Girl, or at least the first few issues of it. These are super clean and very well maintained. So there's both number ones. Yeah. I gotta go back and look to see how much I spent on these. I honestly don't know. Number 2, number 3, and number 4. And you're probably thinking, Joey, you don't read Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. You don't read that kind of stuff. You'd be absolutely right. So what am I going to do with those? I'm going to wait till that cartoon drops, and I'm going to sell them. Because I'm a horrible capitalist. Awkward sips of coffee. Okay, so what else did I get? The rest of the stuff, and this wasn't even the reason why I bought this particular lot. He had a lot of other good stuff in it. So that was one auction with that stuff. And this is the next auction that I went in on. Detective Comics. This is number 438. Not a major key issue, but still a good read. Great story in it. Action Comics number 298. I just love this cover. It makes me happy. Every time Lex Luthor was like an old school supervillain, you know, he didn't have the mech suit and everything. They just gave him random powers. It was always a good read. Next, Secret 6, number 6. Why am I interested in this book? Because it's so many S's in a row, you end up hissing. That's it. Literally, it just makes me laugh. Hey, it's my world. I can enjoy it. And the reason why I went on this particular auction is because of Joker covers. Classic, great Joker covers. And honestly, these books are, he's a straight, like, he's honest. Like, he was like, hey, we got some ticks here on the side, a little bit of dog ear there. This one's very super clean, and it was. And all of his descriptions were right. So if you ever get a chance, check out Jay Blitz's channel. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description. Definitely check it out. Okay, so question of the week. Real quick, real fast. I've weighed in on a particular debate in the comic book community. If you don't know, in the comic book community, we argue about things. And right now, it's all about that Hulk 180 versus the 181. So I want to weigh in on it. 180 is the first appearance. You can keep saying the word cameo all you want. It just shows you don't know how to define the word cameo. Cameo is when you take something out of one environment and put it into another for a short period of time. It has nothing to do with appearance. Now, if you want to say slight appearance of, or something along those lines, fine. But in my mind, Hulk 180 is the first appearance of Wolverine in comic book lore. If you want a cameo, then we'll put Superman in there. Like, take Superman out of his environment, out of his storyline, and plop him in a Hulk comic book. That would be a cameo appearance. Does that maybe that clarifies things? Like, I don't know when we just started just arbitrarily adding words to things. I don't know. What do you think? Comment down below. Does one panel consider it a first appearance? Is it a first minor appearance or whatever along those lines? So my whole hang up in the thing isn't which one is which. It's more along the lines of we're just using bad verbiage. I guess. I don't know. Comment down below. Hey guys, share the channel, give it a like, whatever the case is. Give it a thumbs down if you think I'm just being a jerk and being over pretentious about verbiage. Whatever the case is, feel free to do it here. This is your place where you can pretty much make whatever comment you want. It will be allowed. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. Have a happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and bye.